Good morning. In this video we will discuss the breeds that played a role in the creation of the Black Felt Terrier, also known as the Patterdale Terrier, and the evolution thereof. Nice weather, nice dogs. Left you see a female Patterdale Terrier, to the right a male one, both adults. So first to the recreation. In its essence, the Black Felt Terrier that has now evolved, as particular in the Patterdale Terrier, is a breed that was constructed by the Black and Tan Terrier, which was a good hunting terrier of the past, and in particular the Nuttall strain, which is well known, but also some other strains had Northumberland Terrier blood in them. And the Northumberland Terrier in its essence was a pit dog. It was not only used for that, also for taking care of vermin and rodents, but also had a lot of fighting pedigree in its blood. So the smaller dogs for the pit went to the red pit, but also in the badger baiting, etc. So not only as a sport, because some of it was, like in the pit, it was a blood sport also, badger baiting, but also for really hunting, because the badgers destroyed livestock, and not only the badgers, but particularly the foxes. And they had foxes that went into very rocky crevices on the fell lands, which were almost undiggable, so you needed a very hard type of dog. And the mere terrier could not cut it. So gladiator type fighting blood was used. And if you look at the red pits, they had timing to see how many rats could be killed in a certain time frame, but also divided that by the weight of the dog. So the smaller the dog was, but still capable to do it, the better. And if you take that into consideration, also for hunting, you need of course a dog that is small enough to get into the crevices. So especially the chest circumference is there a factor, but it helps when you have feisty little dogs that are almost impervious to pain. Not that they don't feel pain, but they have a very high pain threshold. So that was in the beginning. And next to those breeds, also the predecessors of the Border Terrier, which was a Fell Terrier type, played a role in the development of the Patterdale Terrier, and the Lakeland Terrier, at least its predecessor. So the Lakeland Terrier that we see now is a show version. There are only a handful of breeders that still breed them for working capabilities. But those, and that gets me to the other point, are also infused in the evolution of the Patterdale Terrier. So what does a worker do? They take something that works, so you have a high chance of breeding Patterdale to Patterdale, but also what it has available. If you have a different tool available but still does the job, this can be used as well. So if you have a very good but rare Border Terrier, you could also breed that to your Patterdale. Or you have a wish for even more strength and fighting spirit in your dogs, you might add some bull blood. And bull in this case could be the modern evolution of the Northumberland Terrier, the pit dog that they had. But the Northumberland was a small pit dog, and then you had the bigger pit dogs that you used against each other, so against other dogs. And the bigger pit dogs resulted in the Staffordshire Bull Terrier that we know today, which is also a show breed. But there are some lines, especially Irish Staffordshire Bull Terrier, that are still being worked to a degree and are a lot more game and strength and fit, etc., etc. And those particular lines, especially the Irish Staffordshire Bull Terriers, so the performance bred ones, are a good source of bull blood. Next, of course, the epitome of bull blood, being an American Pit Bull Terrier. And the other thing is that sometimes also the miniature bull terrier is used. I'm not a big fan of that, but some miniature bull terriers are still being able to be a good hunting dog. You have some English bull terrier lines that are still used for pig hunting, etc. But the thing is, you have a miniature bull terrier and they are smaller on average than a Staffordshire bull terrier. So that is a good thing, of course, when you have a smaller dog to begin with. But the nose and the chest and also the other things are less favorable than a good Staffordshire bull terrier, of course. Not only in the canine interactions that they have, the bull terrier are better, but also as a strength and healthy dog. But the benefit of an English bull terrier could be that they are a little bit less dog aggressive. So that could also be a reason that they use those dogs instead of some Staffy blood. But you can also have very small Staffies that you can use, of course. So that's one thing that we mentioned. So working border, working lakelands. Also in the development they said they used a little bit of the Pedigree Terrier. The Pedigree Terrier is still working breed. And some still use baddies to be a small lurcher type of terrier. A little bit jack of all trades. But it also depends. If you see the outline of your dog, you can already see if there's more definition towards the terrier as you see the female, or more definition towards the bull as you can see the male. So there are different types and different, I say it's emphasis put there to give you different types of dogs. Of course, the lighter dogs that have more of a terrier disposition, as you can see on the left, the female can be a little bit faster and smaller, so easier to go to different places. But of course, the more bull type of dogs, as you can see, the male is a lot stronger and they can easier manhandle their business, of course. So it depends, different horses for different courses. But saying that all terriers should be used is, of course, nonsense. It should be something that is working and doing and adding to your program instead of taking away from it. If you have workers, for example, restoring watches, and you have workers doing demolition, and they both use hammers, but the demolition crew uses a sledgehammer and the watchmaker uses a small watchmaker hammer. And those will never be interchanged, of course. And if you do, the effects will be detrimental because the watchmaker hammer doesn't have the impact that you need, and the sledgehammer will completely destroy any watch. So, hope this video helps and gives you a little bit of insight of what breeds were used, but also the constant evolution of a working breed, such as the Patterdale Terrier. So the big benefit is that you have quite a specific type of dogs in its outline, especially in the performance, but the performance also dictates a certain form, because form follows function. But you also have an open breeding book that you can interchange other dogs, other breeds even, if needed. But of course, all the years and generations of evolution have bred an elite bird terrier that we now know as the Patterdale Terrier. So normally you should not be outbreeding that much to other breeds, but it can now and then occur, and that's a good thing, especially between the other fell terrier dogs that have the same hard disposition, but also with other breeds that are perhaps even harder but less good of a hunting dog, such as the bull breeds, for example, but still have a very good catch dog predisposition. In its essence, the Patterdale Terriers within the hunting dogs, within the hunting terriers, the small catch dog that we know and love. Yeah, well, what to say? Last but not least, what I just told you is for the Patterdale Terrier. But every worker could say, okay, I can only keep 1 or 2 dogs, and I need them to be a little bit more of a compromise. So not so much a specialist as the purebred Patterdale Terrier is. And sometimes they, for example, in the States, they have to clear a lot of raccoons, and they need a little bit bigger dog, and they breed in a little bit more pit bull terrier instead of a small percentage. Or they need a faster dog for brushing rabbits, and they interbreed Patterdale Terrier with whippets, etc. So it depends also a lot on what you want. And some people also want a dog that is more of a baying type instead of only a hard silent type as the Patterdale Terrier is. And they breed in, for example, more Jacht Terrier, which is also very capable hunting terrier, but a lot more baying type. Have a great day. Out.